Lance was a college student in his early 20s. He lived in an apartment in Los Angeles, California. Lance was recently hired as a trainer at the gym he regularly went to. Although Lance didn't plan to work here for long, he enjoyed his job quite a lot. And that was because Lance was all about fitness. Lance was rough and tough, and over the years of hard work and effort on maintaining a good health, Lance proudly showed off his well-built body. It wasn't unusual that Lance received many compliments wherever he went. He got a lot of attention from the ladies. And now that he worked at the gym, it was part of Lance's daily routine to answer questions about how he built his body, what he ate, and what exercises he did. The answer to which was nothing but hard work and perseverance. Lance was soft-hearted and kind, but at the same time, he was strictly disciplined. This made him even more admirable at the gym, and most of the members wanted him to personally train them. Lance took routine classes every morning. Within the first month of working there, his boss was amazed how customers flooded in early every morning to attend Lance's session. Over the time Lance worked at the gym, he came to know a lot of people. But the most impressive of them all was a young woman named Daisy. Daisy was a freshman in college. She was young and attractive. But the most outstanding of her features was how strong she was. Even the men couldn't compete with her. Lance didn't want to admit, but he was attracted to Daisy. The young woman was confident, sporty, and always enthusiastic about having fun. "What happened, Lance? Scared to lose?" "No, Daisy, it's not that. This is silly. I can't compete with you." "Why not? Is it because I'm a woman?" "Lance, is that sweat I see? You're getting nervous, aren't you?" "Daisy, I'm just afraid you'll end up crying. I just don't want to ruin our friendship." Lance was truly afraid this would break Daisy's confidence. He didn't want to demotivate her. He intentionally put on a struggle and lifted the 80-pound barbell. Daisy watched him intensely with a smirk on her face. Lance dropped it down and ushered Daisy forward. Daisy let out a laugh. "You think I'm going to lift this?" Daisy set up the 100-pound barbell. Lance was amazed when she lifted the barbell as if it were a feather. He shook his head and laughed. "You win, Daisy." "No, I can't take all the credit. You think I didn't realize you were putting up an act?" "Even so, 100 pounds? Impressive. How did you do it? Is it genetics or what?" Daisy laughed. "It's a little more than just genetics." Lance often ended up puzzled by Daisy's strength. He couldn't believe his eyes. Lance was fascinated by her. "Daisy, what are you doing?" Daisy and Lance often ended up conversing and gossiping. They started to meet each other outside the gym, sometimes for a cup of coffee or lunch at the cafe. Eventually, Lance and Daisy started dating. As their relationship grew deeper and more intimate, they moved in together. Things were going well until Daisy suddenly fell sick. It wasn't overnight, but her health began to fall day by day. She lost her appetite and began losing weight. Lance tried his best to allow Daisy rest and keep a good eye on whether she was having a proper diet. He knew Daisy very well. She wasn't the type to slack back on her health. But for some reason, she continued to lose weight. Daisy wasn't her previous self anymore. She was having difficulty lifting even 50 pounds. After about 2 months, Daisy lost over 20 pounds. When Daisy's family heard that she wasn't doing well, her father was devastated to see her health condition. Her mother asked her to take a break from the city life and take a few weeks off and visit them. Daisy couldn't refuse her parents, but after she put the phone down, she was having second thoughts. "Lance, there's nothing to do over there, and the network is awful." "Daisy, you need some time off. You should go." "I can't imagine staying away from you, Lance." "Wait, you can come with me." "I don't know. Is your family going to be okay with that?" "Okay or not, I'm not going without you." After a lot of persuasion, Lance finally agreed to her wishes and packed his bags, ready for a flight to Colorado. Lance and Daisy stepped out into the fresh, cool air in the small mountain town of Aspen. Lance was amazed by the spectacular view. He didn't want to visit the Walters empty-handed. He picked up a cake on the way to the house. The couple took a car all the way through the steep mountain roads to Daisy's family home. Lance tried to stay confident. He cleared his throat and straightened his posture and walked with Daisy to the front door. Before even ringing the bell, the door opened. Daisy's parents were delighted to see her. Her mother, Mrs. Walter, took her inside, straight to the dining table and started preparing food. Mr. Walter was friendly. He patted Lance's back and invited him inside. "So tell me about yourself, Lance." "I'm attending college. I currently work as a fitness trainer in LA." "Nice. So you would be up for a challenge with the old man, won't you?" Lance awkwardly looked at Daisy giggling behind her father. "Beware before you accept the challenge. You'll be up for a shock." Just then the bell rang. Mrs. Walter opened the door. A tall, broad, and heavy man entered the house. His voice boomed as he approached the family in the living room. "Who's this?" "This is my boyfriend, Bobby." Bobby was Daisy's younger brother. He was only about 16, but he sure looked intimidating. Despite his looks, Bobby was shy and quiet. "Lance brought the most beautiful cake. Let's enjoy, everyone." There was no way Lance could deny how hospitable and welcoming Daisy's family had been. All Lance had experienced since he came here was kind gestures and love from them. Mrs. Walter was always ready with delicious food on the table. Her dishes were amazing, but Lance enjoyed her desserts a bit more than the large meals. The Walters enjoyed eating buffalo. Lance found it a bit tough and hard to chew. It was no wonder the whole family was so ripped. Protein-rich buffalo meat out in the mountains year-round. "How about an arm wrestle, Mr. Walter?" "Arm wrestle? Are you sure you want to lose?" "Perhaps this time things will be different, Mr. Walter. I like your confidence, young man. Let's go for it." Daisy thought she would recover once she was here, but her health condition only worsened. And strange as it was, so did the rest of the family members. Mr. Walter, Daisy, and Bobby went out for a walk. Lance decided to stay back home and rest. "Let's go out for some fresh air. There's nothing a little exercise can't fix." Daisy and Bobby had grown up competing with each other, but today just didn't seem to be their day. "What's wrong, Daisy? How are you so tired already?" "I don't know, Dad. I knew I shouldn't have let you go to the city. When I heard you were losing weight, I knew you weren't eating properly. Have you skipped out on your supplements? You've ruined your body for that boy, haven't you?" "For Lance? No, Dad, it's not like that. Lance is into bodybuilding. He would never let me ruin my body. And I've been eating. The problem is something else. I just can't point out what." "Dad, I think Daisy's right. You think it's something to do with the serum?" "I don't feel that strength anymore." "The serum? I'll have to check it out again." In the following days, Mr. Walter was getting worried. Everyone's health condition kept on getting worse. They couldn't understand what was going on. One morning, Lance woke up to find everyone huddled together in the living room. "What's wrong? Is everything okay?" "Lance, there was a fire in the house. This portrait caught on fire." This was the portrait of my great-great-great-grandfather. The secret recipe to a serum was hidden inside this. I don't know how this could happen. It got ruined in the fire. The recipe is lost. Serum? It's the supplement that we were all taking. I don't know what is happening in this house. We've all fallen sick. It seems like a curse has fallen on us. That's strange. You don't think there's something wrong with the serum? Perhaps that's what's been making you sick. No, that can't be. It's been in the family for so long. You never know, Mr. Walter. This is why I don't use anything. The incident only made the family members more ill than they already were. The next few days didn't go by too well for anyone in the house. Soon the time came for Lance and Daisy to return home. Mr. Walter requested Daisy to take a break from college and stay back until her health got better. Lance, however, couldn't stay any longer. He had a lot of business to attend in California. from work to college to home. I'll miss you. Don't worry, I'll be back soon. He didn't need all the extra space anymore. The long-distance relationship didn't seem to work out. Lance and Daisy broke up. Lance was a little heartbroken, but the exchange he made was worth it. Daisy, what are you doing? What? Is that the secret behind the strength? You know that's illegal, right? What? Illegal? You thought I was taking? No! You can't fool me anymore, Daisy. You've been caught red-handed. This isn't what you think it is. Do you think I'm crazy? But you could call this a special family recipe. Oh really? What's that? My whole family is actually really into wrestling and bodybuilding. It's been in the family for generations. As a matter of fact, we can trace it to a century back. This is a special serum that was invented by my great-great-great-grandfather. He was known to be a fierce wrestler, and this was his little secret. He made this all-natural solution with exotic vegetables and herbs to boost his strength. The recipe has been passed down since. No one in the family knows the secret formula except for my father. We take it once a month, and it works miracles. Trust me. You can try it out if you want. Interesting. But no thanks, I'd rather stay away from that hocus pocus. Lance knew real strength when he saw it. And the first time he met Daisy at the gym, he knew there was something going on. He suspected Daisy must have been using something. His suspicion was proven correct when Daisy told him about the secret serum that had been passed down in her family. Dating Daisy was only a way to get closer to her secret. There was a reason Daisy wasn't feeling well. Lance had been mixing his little secret in her food. It wasn't anything fatal, but it was harmful. Lance knew the secret formula was at the Walter residence, and Daisy was the only way he could get into that house. Once he made his way into the Walter residence, Lance needed the recipe, not just the serum. And it all started with a piece of cake. Lance enjoyed watching everyone delight in the cake he mixed his little concoction in. Lance was bugged out at how proud these people were about their strength. And finding the hidden formula was a piece of zinc sulfide that Lance crushed and smeared on his hand. Lance had to pass the zinc sulfide to Walter. Walter was the only one who handled the formula. Now that Walter had the zinc sulfide on his hands, anything he would touch would glow up green once Lance would shine black light on it. In the middle of the night, Lance searched the house. It was strangely obvious where the jackpot was when he saw the portrait on the wall glow up. Lance flipped over the portrait. He was shocked. What? This is it? This is the secret serum? Lance took what he needed, but the most important step of all, he made sure to erase all ways for the Walters to recreate the serum again. He set the portrait on fire. He wanted it all for himself. Now he was the strongest of them all. Lance was amazed at the wonders this serum could do to human strength. Now he was experiencing it himself. This is unbelievable. How can you do this? Hard work and perseverance. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.